There have been a lot of different discussions about the Sizzle season update, and I think it's fair to say that a big portion of the community felt fairly disappointed with it. From the lack of new content that was added, to challenges having disappointing limited time windows, the overall feeling amongst the community right now feels more like a negative one than a positive, which is something you wouldn't expect after a significant update has just been added. And whilst I do think there are other contributing factors like Tears of the Kingdom's release, it does feel like the game is a lot quieter right now than it usually is. There's one disappointing thing though that I haven't seen discussed nearly as much as others in the conversations about the Sizzle season update. And for me, this might genuinely be the most disappointing part of it of all. Every new update, we've seen significant additions in terms of new gear. It's a major part of the game being able to customize your character and getting a lot of great gear to collect. And honestly, I can't really say Nintendo has disappointed with this. In the majority of updates, they've added a whole bunch of new gear, most of which has been relevant for the time of the year the update has released in. And they've been fairly dedicated in bringing back some fan favorites too, which is always a great thing to see. So when it was confirmed that really not that much new gear was being added to the Sizzle season update at all, I was really disappointed. Now, I understand that gear probably isn't the first thing that you think about when you think of a new Splatoon update. You probably think about new features, new maps and weapons and such. That's completely understandable. But for me, I honestly don't like what I'm wearing at all. I've not really been able to collect the gear that I've wanted to, that I had in the past games, and Nintendo still hasn't added it, which is understandable. They're going to take their time to kind of spread this content out. But when the Sizzle season data miners effectively confirmed that so little new or returning gear would be added, it was a big letdown. As I said, I feel like this is really the first update that we've seen such a decrease in the amount of new gear that has been added in. So honestly, right now there's been little purpose in me checking the shops at all. I really haven't needed to. I definitely could imagine that maybe they're saving a huge gear drop for the September update, which would be the game's anniversary, and I feel like they've done that in the past as well, where during some of the more major updates, that's when they really came through with a ton of new gear to get people excited. But that doesn't change the fact that for now, I have another 3 months of basically wearing gear that I don't really like. And based off the comments that I get anytime I do post videos about new gear being added to the game, I feel like a lot of you can relate with that. There's still so much missing gear from the past games, and we don't know if even all of it will ever return. I really can't see why Nintendo couldn't have just ported it all over and then just added to it with new pieces of gear. That would have been the best approach. I do get that they're trying to go for the method of kind of stringing content out because that's kind of how they do these updates. But there's so much gear in the past games that they definitely could have standed to add more of it in the Sizzle season, especially some of that really nice summery gear that we have from the past games. There's so much of it. Hopefully we will see a big gear drop in the next update, as I do think it is an important part of the game and there's so many pieces that I'd love to see finally added. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Are there any pieces of gear that you're really missing, and were you disappointed by the amount added in the Sizzle season update? If you made it to the end, be sure to comment Splat Gang down below so I know you did. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on channel notifications for more.